Good morning and welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rhonda Lawnert.
And I'm Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And today we welcome Mr. Jason Dorsey. He's a generational researcher, best-selling author, and acclaimed speaker. He is the president and lead researcher at the Center for Generational Kinetics, a global research and insight firm. As this holiday season approaches, families across the nation will be rekindling some cherished traditions, sharing stories, and dreaming up their 2024 travel adventures. Interest in multi-generational travel continues to strengthen, but what's on Grandma's must-see list may not be as important to you or I. Jason, welcome to the chat. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I don't know. My grandma's a pretty good traveler.
That's what I'm saying. I want to disagree with that statement because I probably want to go places my grandmother went.
Might have some fun with Grandma.
That's it. Go right ahead, Chuck.
You know, there are basically four main themes defining, I guess, travel, in the upcoming year. Can you hit upon those things for me?
Yeah, what we found the biggest was that there's this real desire for connection. And this year is the third year of the Hilton Trend Report, where we're really digging into these underlying generational trends and drivers. And this idea for connection was across every single generation. I think that's important because sometimes people say, oh, well, younger generations, they don't want to connect. They just want to look at their phone. And that is absolutely not what the study found. The study found every single generation wanted to connect, and travel was the way that they wanted to do it. So that was super exciting. And the other big theme that we found is that there's a real desire to rest and recharge. In fact, the number one reason every single generation wanted to travel was to rest and recharge. Even Grandma, who you talked about, wants to rest and recharge. So a really strong desire for that. And then one of my favorite findings from the study is that 64%, which is a huge number as a researcher, 64% is a huge number to get. 64% of all travelers say they want to increase their leisure travel spending next year, and they're willing to do it by decreasing other personal spending. So when you start to look at these themes together, desire for travel, desire to reconnect, and a willingness to put their own personal money into that experience, which I love.
Oh, wow. How fun. Well, when you think about, traveling with generations, which sounds like a great idea to me. I know some grandmas I could have a lot of fun with. But where do you see generation to generation that we are the same, and where are we most different from the other generations?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So when it comes to the same, what we found was that 45% across the generations, 45% really placed a priority on reconnecting with friends and family. So again, this real desire for connection, which I think goes against a lot of the headlines that people are also distant and don't want to be around other people. What we're seeing is that people do want to be together, particularly with family and friends, and travel is the way that they see to do that. Now, where do we see differences? Well, and how they want to maybe have some of those experiences. In fact, what we see is a real desire for personalization, being able to create your own personal experience while you're on that trip. So you may have somebody who wants to be on their social media and making social media posts, and the person sitting next to them is reading their book. And so you have to have a little bit of something for everyone. But the great thing is you can do that now. And one of my favorite things is that there's a real desire to have regional and local foods offered as part of that trip. And I love that. I'm from Texas here, and I love to have regional and local foods whenever I get to travel.
Yeah, taco truck. I think that's hey, if you find a taco truck, you'll find a line and probably find me somewhere into that. Jason, we saw this holiday season, 55 million Americans got out and traveled for Thanksgiving. We've seen the numbers increase coming out of that pandemic each and every year, just keeps getting bigger and bigger each year. One of the things you talked about is we're willing to make sacrifices to make these trips, to get out and have these connections and get together like that. Will you see that trend continue into 2024, that people are taking the European vacation? They're taking bigger and grander trips than what we did before.
Yeah, we definitely see the trend continuing. What we're starting to see is some difference of where people want to travel. Maybe they had that European trip that they really wanted. Now they want to go somewhere in the U.S. Or maybe they want to take some different friends or different family members. But that desire to have those leisure trips remains very, very high. And again, to me, what's most telling in the study with Hilton is that the travelers are willing to say, I'm willing to spend less in other personal areas of my life in order to have more of those trips and experiences. And I think that's really powerful when people are saying, I'm going to take that dollar and instead of putting it over here, I'm going to go put it over here because trips and experiences are more important to me. And I think it speaks to that desire to have those in-person connections that many people felt they didn't get for a period of time. And now they want to have those. It's all that pent up demand.
Jason, tell us how to prepare for a successful multi-generational trip.
Yeah, the first step is to not assume you know what grandma wants. You'd be very surprised. Yeah, I mean, you know, as a generational researcher, getting to partner with Hilton on this was really exciting because we got to ask those sorts of questions. And one of the best findings and best steps to take is just to ask, what do you want on that trip experience? What's most important to you? Is it adventure? Is it going to a place where you can take a great selfie? Is it going to go on a local tour? I'm here at this Canopy property on the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and I went on a walk last night on the Riverwalk, and it's absolutely stunning. Like, asking up front allows you to create that deeper level of personalization, and so often I think that's a step that we miss. And also, I love to ask, how scheduled do you want to be? You know, some people love to have that really busy trip where every minute is planned, and other people are like, no, I can do one thing a day.
Right.
That's it.
And you got to average in nap time for that.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite things, I don't know if you've seen this is something that came up in the trends report with Hilton, is this real desire for sleep tourism, which I'm a huge fan of. And it's this idea that people most want to rest and recharge. And so now what you see is people picking their hotels based on being able to rest. And for the grandma comment, almost a quarter of baby boomers want to know that a hotel has a great mattress before they will book it. And Gen Z and millennials, I'm a millennial, we're the top generations to bring our own pillow. Which I've certainly seen that on airplanes recently. And one of my fun facts, is that some of the select Hilton properties even have pillow menus. You can go and pick the pillow or the pillow type that you want, just to make sure you get that great experience. I didn't even know that existed, and I love it. So that's the sort of fun stuff we get to uncover.
One of my first jobs when I got out of the military was working for a Radisson hotel. And one of the things we did in the summer is we saved space in the walk-in freezer for pillows.
Oh.
Yeah, because people love coming in into the hot day travel in Texas and getting a cold pillow. It was a big hit.
My son would love that.
Okay, but that's neat. A pillow menu. That's unique. Jason, how can people find out more, connect with you, and get some of this great information on generational travel?
Yeah, tons of great information at the website, which is stories.hilton.com. And you can see all the data. There's great video on there. There's tons of insights. It's awesome. So if you're going to be traveling with multiple generations or thinking about it, definitely go check it out. Tons of great information there.
That's it. Make this holiday season and 2024 special. Travel with your loved ones. Go out, make those connections, and do it generationally. You can find out more information at Hilton's website. Jason, have a great and happy holiday season, man. Appreciate the great information.
But thank you. Y'all have a great holiday season, too.
You too, sir. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2.